Hello and welcome everyone, it is me the lover, also known as Duel is back for you with something small in between. With the Link event currently going on, I am of course, putting a bit of time into that. If I can get myself to play Master Duel. As you can see, for this event I am piloting Beetrooper / Battle Wasp, the insect Link deck as you could say. Getting ashed here on the normal summon of Sting feels pretty shitty. And getting Maxx C on the trigger of Scale Bomber feels even worse. But in this case, I do decide that, I can summon the Scale Bomber here. This is still surprisingly much interaction because we still have the Sting, which is a targeted monster negate, and the Scale Bomber, which is basically kind of a Ghost Ogre on field. Since when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can quick effect tribute an insect to pop that monster. He goes, he goes Arua here, pops the Abomination's Prison, which gets him a Unchained Sword of Disaster from the deck. I feel very confident chaining the Scale Bomber here to pop that boy. He goes normal summon Rakea, triggers Arua to float into Unchained, Abominable Unchained Soul, runs over my Scale Bomber, and punches me for 1500. I'm not too mad about this. Unchained does have a pretty good time going second because you can just throw bodies at the problem. I do Kaiju the Rakea here to just get him off of resources for the follow-up turns. Make an Armor Rush here out of the Goki pole, and as soon as he drops that second Maxx C, I decide to let that resolve. Because I want to keep the Caught by the Grave for the Unchained Abominable Unchained Soul. And I grab a copy of Arbalest here, because I figure there is no way he kills me on the follow-up. I think even a twin plus, I think only a twin plus back row does it. And he's also gone through like 2 or 3 of his twins. Sets another back row. I am, not dead. The gamble paid off, you could say. I do go for the normal summon Arbalest here, targeting the Goki pole. I do get impermed on the Arbalest, which is quite unfortunate. But I do have another idea, because similar to the Unchained twins, but probably something not a lot of people know, Battle Wasp Arbalest, the rapid fire actually floats if it's destroyed by an opponent's card. I go ahead, chain block that with the Armor Rush here, in case something funny happens, and I do get a Sting from the deck. Sting gets me to pin. Pin gets himself onto the board. I think I forgot to trigger the burn effect here even. Blank the Torrential with the Imperm I had set. Very lovely of my opponent to play into that Imperm column. But yeah, I go ahead and make an Armor Horn here. Forget the pin effect, by the way, as I have mentioned. Make an Armor Horn here to, just get 2 insects onto the board and turn Armor Horn and Armor Rush into the Shinobi Insect Hugger Kurimino that I am playing because I have the space in this event. Go ahead, Armor Horn, banish 3, summon back the Armor Horn. I make Invincible Atlas here, and the next one will be looking a bit weird, I do summon the Mighty Neptune here, and I tribute that for the Invincible Atlas effect for a Sting Lancer. But instead of the Counter Trap, I grab the Field Spell. That is simply because when an insect you control gets destroyed, you can summon a Beetrooper token. So in this case, even if he top decks a normal summon, I am not dead on the follow-up. Which is, I guess, the main purpose of this. I do get the token here. As mentioned, that would have kept me alive if he decided to, Kumangust, run over Sting Lancer and crash a bomb. Which was what I was, anticipating, was the play that I was anticipating at that time. I go, Invincible Atlas, tribute the Resonance Insect, I top deck, summon a Sting Lancer, can't really go for Scout Buggy into Cicada King in a Link event. Trigger those in sequence, Resonance Insect adds me a copy of Doomdozer, and the Sting Lancer grabs me Fly and Sting. He fires his trap trick, banishing an escape of the Unchained. I figured he would go for an Abomination's Prison, but he didn't. I go into combat, crash my Sting Lancer into the Comangus, get my token. I do crash Atlas into a bomb as well, because I do want to caught by that in the second main phase, because I have a lot of gas to work with at the moment. I do have a Resonance Insect in the graveyard that I can banish off the Doomdozer. to dump a Goki Pole, which grabs me an Arbalest. I do commit Doom Dozer and the Beetrooper token into a copy of Armor Horn here. To get that additional normal summon off for the Arbalest, I just search off of Goki Pole. Go ahead, summon back the Sting. Sting grabs me a pin. Very, very standard stuff, to be honest. And here I go for the Insector Link in Pico for laner. Pico for laner will go ahead and pitch that a Flying Sting out of my hand to equip another Resonance Insect to the Armor Horn before I make anything else here. I do recycle some one-offs and an Arbalest, because I figured Arbalest has been putting in a lot of work this game. So, you know, might as well let him rest in the deck. Make another Invincible Atlas here out of these two. Trigger the Resonance Insect again to grab a Sting Lancer for potentially, you know, Sarama top decks. Unchained is pretty good on the draw, but he is out of resource, and I just went basically for the full line. I can still caught by the Abominable Unchained Soul. Not feeling too terrible about that in the slightest. And yeah, with that out of the way, I will pass back to my opponent. My opponent will look at the card he drew for turn and concede the duel. Just an absolute nail-biter of a game. I was on the edge of my seat through the entire process, getting Maxx C twice in a game and still coming out on top. It does feel pretty damn good, I do have to say, but that initial setup, I felt pretty confident passing there on Scale Bomber and Sting, because both have an on-field interruption effect, and backed up by an Imperm, there is no way a deck like Unchained just blows me out of the game. I'll probably quickly put the deck list at the end here after I'm talking, but with all that out of the way, let me know what you thought of this video, you know, if, you know, Master Duel replays are something you'd guys like to see more of in the future. And I will thank you guys very much for watching, and see you guys again next time. But until then, goodbye.